Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Maxandjuancast. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
I'm doing good, one. As you can see, the records are tied up. I was down.
Look, the
I was
people
down
can't
so
even
long that
fucking
shit looked
see
like
it yet,
up.
asshole.
Brother, you gotta step your shit up, brother. You know what I mean? Look, a month in through 64 games, we're both 40 and 24. And the truth is, I've been playing with you, dog. I'm trying to keep it close for the content. But this week is gonna be the week I just start to separate, dog. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be like Travis Kelce and break up with you, dog. You don't want to pay the rent, you can't be here, brother.
All right, look, two things, y'all. Two things. Number one, I got
Excuse,
cheated. Okay. Number
excuse
one,
me.
I got cheated. I picked Tampa Bay last week. He didn't want to switch it, but you know what? It's all
I got
right.
the
It's all
screenshots,
right.
brother. I got the
It's all
screenshots.
right.
What
It's all right.
else?
It's all right.
What else?
Max makes me pick on Monday night. You know, it
Not
ain't
this
nothing
week.
big.
What'd you pick this week?
Fight through adversity. You know, fight through adversity. Number
How's your
two,
fantasy team?
number two. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Number two, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Don't be skipping over that because my co-host Max, decides to just come at me all hot and shit. So
He's right, guys. I come.
my fantasy
I'm
team
gonna
is
come.
2-2, Max. I'm 500, but
That's
I
good.
could have won last week. You know what happened?
What?
I started Aiden O'Connell. All right, I lost because of that.
A fucking bumper clap. That is a fucking bumper clap move if I've ever seen one, brother.
All right, week 5. It's going so fucking fast, man. We're already gonna hit the quarter point of the NFL season. We hope you guys have been enjoying the series. If you guys are new to the channel, we wind up picking every single game. We go over some of the betting lines, and me and Max face off in this pick'em challenge we like to call. All right, as Max has the back-to-back belt in the last 2 seasons, so I'm trying to get
We've
my
only
shit
been doing
up.
it 2 years, guys. Only been doing it 2 years, but I never lost.
All
Never
right.
lost.
All right, motherfucker. Let's get into it because we got a lot of disagreements this week. All right, Chicago, Washington. This game is in Washington. Max, we seen the Chicago Bears have an absolute meltdown at home last week against Denver. Washington coming off of that Philly loss in overtime. The easy pick here is Caleb Williams is number 1. So Washington, how do you feel about it?
It's hard for me to envision a game that the Bears can really compete and win with Washington. Washington's a good team. One, don't let the record fool you. 2-2. Look, the D line's for real. They have a lot of good weapons. I mean, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas. Who's their third receiver who's been there forever? Curtis Samuel, who's been there a long ass time. Brian Robinson. Look, this isn't the Eagles' defense. And Chicago Bears, they can't really stop anything, let alone a good offense. Like last week, Denver kind of started to do whatever they wanted towards the end of the game. Like it was a shootout, and Denver's not some talented team. One, and think about this: would the Bears' offense look so good against a defense that's competent? Denver just cut Randy Gregory 2 years into a $70 million contract, which is not a good look. So one, I have a hard time thinking the Bears are going to put up a fight. I would love to see Justin Fields look like he did last week. But the Bears, man, they're banged up. I think Eddie Jackson's out. Jalen Johnson's out. And poor Chase Claypool's not going to play either. A real big loss.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. Sorry, we had to switch Max's mic, so we apologize for that. But I like Sam Howell a lot, man. I know he had a tough week. I know he had a tough week against Buffalo. And everyone was kind of like, Sam Howell show kind of got fucked up. Let's go ahead and die down that train. But I like what he did against Philly. And I know you watched that game closely. He just has that fucking mentality. And he throws the ball all over the field. He's a runner. He's mobile. I got Washington, man. And I still see him as a little sleeper in the NFC. I like them a lot. Their defense, we always talk about their defensive line being a problem. This is the game where you got to take care of business, and we take you like semi-serious for Washington. If you lose this game, I'm out. I'm out on Sam Howell, and I'm out on
100%.
Washington.
I'm with you.
So Max has the score of 24-14, and I got 30-20. We both got Washington across the board. All right, let's go to one of the games of the week, honestly, and it's a tragic that this game is at 6:30 in the fucking morning. Okay.
Yeah, and it's London. Just weird shit always happens. But
Jacksonville and Buffalo. Jacksonville is 5.5-point underdogs in this one.
I like that for betting. That for betting one.
Look, man, I know the Bills just came off an amazing win, right? They just beat the Dolphins, and I really do like what I've seen from the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to pick the Jags one more time. I'm telling you right now, Max. They had a shot at Kansas City a couple weeks ago. They shit the bed. Absolutely shit the bed. But they get another shot at relevance here. I'm picking the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Buffalo Bills. And I'm expecting Josh Allen to absolutely wreck this game. And I'm not talking about the quarterback. I'm talking about the defensive end, who's been shooting up Defensive Player of the Year rankings as far as this year goes, because he's been having a great year. And Jacksonville's offense, Max, I feel like every single week they're like this off from scoring like 35, like an explosion. I just feel it. I think it's really close. Maybe they catch Buffalo on a little sleep, after that big win. Maybe they slump it to this week. So what do you think?
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid Buffalo might come out flat. You only have so many of those wins a year where it's like, damn, like we laid it all out on the line. I always think back to a few years ago when Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, they whooped on the Patriots Sunday Night Football. Big emotional game. Next week against a really bad Denver team, just come out and get crapped on. So that's what I'm afraid of happening to Buffalo. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe they're going to be a little behind the 8 ball to start the game, but I think this Buffalo, that win is going to kind of galvanize the team. I don't love playing in London. I don't love that Jacksonville's been there 2 weeks when they're playing Buffalo. I like, if I'm a Jacksonville fan, I'm like, okay, we're acclimated. The time when I went to London, man, I got jet lagged. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's like 14 hours or some shit.
Yeah. So and Jacksonville's staying down there. They were there last week, so 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's an extra week. You're more comfortable. You went to the Dorchester. You got some nice Asian food. That's if you know. One wouldn't know. One bench.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. You know. But look, I think Buffalo's going to win this game. Josh Allen is going to wreck this game. Just Josh Allen was number 17, not number 41. That's all I'm going to say. He's on the cover of Madden, baby. Yeah. So Bills Mafia, I'm rocking with you this week, 27-24. Jacksonville losing this game is not a big deal unless they get trounced. Then it's a big deal. But this Jacksonville team's good. They've had a tough if they lose this game, they'll be 2-3. And if you lose to Buffalo and Kansas City, those two are the top teams. I'm not worried about you. Buffalo, right. This might be the changing of the team, James Cook's popping off. Gabe Davis is looking better. Dalton Kincaid slowly getting into it. Yeah. The defense, they lost Trey White. What's going to hurt? But he's not really the player he once was.
If Buffalo comes out and beats the shit out of Jacksonville, I mean, at this point, you gotta crown them. You gotta crown them right now. Like, they're the best team. And, there's a world out there that maybe the 49ers lose on Sunday Night Football. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, Buffalo, they're the king of the hill right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Jacksonville is just, even in that Kansas City game, just mental mistakes. And I don't know if it's Doug Peterson with the coaching, but Calvin Ridley dropping balls, miscues here and there, fullbacks returning fucking kickoffs. Like, get your shit together. Let's get a complete game going, and let's beat one of the best teams in the league this week, Jacksonville. I'm riding with y'all one more time, all right? I got Jags 31-28. Max got Bills 27-24. Both close games.
Very close.
All right, let's move on to Houston and Atlanta. Now, this one's an interesting one, man. Atlanta did not look good last week, man. Houston looked the fucking part, man. CJ Stroud, of course, looked amazing, beat the shit out of the Steelers. Is this maybe a situation, Max, where Vegas and everybody else is going to pick the Houston Texans and act like they're a legit team and we get fucked? How do you feel about it?
I'm basing my pick off the fact that for 2 straight weeks, Houston's looked good and they're starting to play better. And I think they have a legitimate shot, one, at a playoff spot. They're not going to set the world on fire. They're not going to compete for a Super Bowl. But this Atlanta team started off 2-0, but they can't throw the ball. Desmond Ridder is not good at football. I know he's never lost at home. One, that's all everyone's going to say. He hasn't lost at home.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I just can't roll with a guy who can't throw the ball against a guy who is really playing well. Obviously you worry about, is this going to be the game he looks like a rookie and does some dumb stuff? But I don't think he is like that one. I think he's so polished as a passer, decision maker. Maybe you could wish he was a hair more aggressive, but man, he's thrown for 300. He had 15 completions last week, 300 yards, which just means you're pushing the ball downfield. I got to go with Houston one. There's no really – what's the case for Atlanta right now? Like, what's the case? After 2 bad weeks versus Detroit, and they lost to Jacksonville last week. And I get Jacksonville, you're going to say London game. But Desmond Ridder can't throw the ball in America. He can't throw the ball in England. So I don't know, what's the excuse now? He can only throw it in Atlanta?
Yeah, I know. And the fact that Jonnu Smith is getting more receiving yards than Kyle Pitts is absolute crime in Atlanta. He is just rotting in a Falcons uniform right now. And it's crazy. All they got is the run game, man. And if you're Atlanta, you got to start looking at some options here to get a new quarterback in there, because Desmond Ridder just does not look the part, man. Even when they were winning those 2 games, he made a throw here and there that saved his ass, and they won the game, so nobody really looked at it. When they lose, it looks bad, man. They just simply cannot move the fucking ball, dude. And one thing with Houston, they take pride in, it's mostly their defense. Their defense has a lot of pride on them, man. So I don't see Atlanta bullying them in the run game like crazy. They're going to have to throw the ball to beat the Houston Texans. And one thing I want to say on CJ Stroud before we move on, I think one important stat that I seen on CJ Stroud that's very impressive is third down efficiency. I think he's number 1 in third down conversions. I think it's like 7+ yards or more. Like, that's crazy for a fucking rookie, dude. He's doing shit that veteran quarterbacks are barely doing in like their 8th year. So I don't see the kid failing. We'll see when he hits that rookie game that you're talking about, Max, but I don't think it's going to be this one. I don't think Atlanta's going to provide that. Houston all the way, man. I got 24-10. Max has 28-17. Let's move on to Carolina and Detroit. Detroit is good, man. Are you sold on Detroit, Max? Because
yes,
I am.
Absolutely sold. I'm not sold on them in the terms of Super Bowl contender one. I'm sold on them in terms of they're a good football team. Are they perfect? No. You'd love to see a little bit better coverage. You'd love to see a little bit better defense here and there. But they're feisty. They never die easy. They have a really good O-line. They have good pass catchers. They have good running backs. Jameson Williams is joining back the fray.
Yes.
He could be just a complete difference maker with his speed and ability to catch and run. So there's no doubt in my mind. I can't pick Carolina right here. Do I think Carolina will keep it a little feisty? Yes. Carolina's a year away because they have no weapons on the outside. Thielen is not going to get it done. They don't have a good O-line. And more importantly, that defense that we talk so much about, I think we have to start realizing it's some pieces right now. It's not the defense we kind of saw glimpses of last year. Yeah, because, I mean, you look at the people. You see Derek Brown, stud. Mm-hmm. Brian Burns, stud. Shaq Thompson, who's out. Frankie Louvu, who's pretty good. Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, who's out. Dante Jackson, who's okay. It's just a lot of guys who are good, but there's no cohesiveness to it. You know what I mean? It's just there's something lacking. Maybe it's scheme. I'm not sure, but this isn't the week for them. Detroit's too good. I feel like Detroit might run the ball all over them.
Yeah. And I don't feel confident in Carolina either. I think we got to start asking the question, when do they start having a fire sale? Because they don't have a first-round pick this year. So maybe you do think about trading away a Brian Burns, maybe a Jeremy Chin, try to get some resources in there for Bryce Young, because Adam Thielen is not cutting it. DJ Chark is not cutting it.
And he's been good. It's not his fault, but he's just not a difference maker at 34 years old.
Yeah. absolutely. And on Detroit's part, you said everything right, man. They're a really good team. Their defense is a lot better than I expected. And Sam Laporta, who's looking like the best rookie tight end in the league right now. And
great move trading Hawkinson out of there and just getting Laporta, man.
Yeah, very nice move. I'm going Detroit all the way, man. I got 31-17. Max has 27-17. Okay. Let's go to Tennessee and Indy. Tennessee, what do we think of them, man?
So is it bad week, good week, bad week, good week? Is this going to be bad week? Look, I thought they would lose the game last week. I thought it'd be a close one, but to just come out and annihilate the Cincinnati Bengals, and I get Joe Burrow's hurt one, made me really think Tennessee's a little bit better than I think. I think this game will be close because Tennessee can't win big. They win ugly unless they can really just dominate the line of scrimmage. And the big difference between the Colts, to me, and Cincinnati is that O-line, the run game. Now, I think Mike Vrabel's going to cook some shit up, and Anthony Richmond's going to have a passing day like he had earlier in the afternoon last Sunday. What was he like? 11 for 25, 110 yards. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I think if that's the game they play, I think the Titans are going to win that game.
I can't trust the Titans. I think last week was a case of like Joe Burrow literally infecting the Cincinnati Bengals with his energy. Like the defense looked bad. The defense was playing good football throughout 3 weeks. And last week, it just collapsed completely. The Tennessee Titans, that's not them. What I've seen last week, scoring in like 3 plays, 75-yard drives, explosive plays. That's not them. I can't trust it. I think that was just a case of last week. The Indianapolis Colts are a weird team. I understand that. You can't trust them as well. But I'm taking the overall talent on Indy of just Anthony Richardson making plays, maybe DeForest Buckner causing some ruckus. And the Colts are just not bad. And let's throw this into play. Jonathan Taylor looking like he's going to come back. What do you think about that situation? You think he's going to make anything of an impact?
No, I mean, if he plays and he's healthy, he will. I mean, it's hard for me to think, first week back in the NFL when you haven't really been doing much, just rehabbing, you're going to really pop off. And Tennessee's got a good front seven on. Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, who's been really good this year, Harold Landry. Those are good players. And I have a hard time thinking Indy wants to run the ball, right? I have a hard time thinking, you're just going to impose your will on Tennessee. They couldn't really do it to the Rams for a big part of the game. And you look at the Rams, you're like, who's there? Who's on this team?
Yeah.
And I mean, it will be a close game. It's a division thing. These teams aren't the most talented, but they're both really feisty. I mean, I think if they can slow down Anthony Richardson, which I kind of think they can because he's so raw. He's completely opposite of C.J. Stroud in terms of polish. And that's not a knock. That's just who he is as a player. Like Anthony Richardson is gifts. And C.J. Stroud is gifts, polish, feel, and Anthony Richardson still figuring shit out.
Yeah, most definitely. I've liked what I've seen from Richardson. I think that second half, or
I do too.
That second half was impressive. I don't know what clicked in his brain, but he looked like a completely different quarterback. To me, I think it's more of a I can't trust Tennessee thing, but I'm guessing you're going with them, right?
I'm going with Tennessee. Yes, sir. 18-17, very close game.
Yeah, I got 27-16. Just a simple case of I don't see Tennessee scoring all that many points. I don't trust last week. Let's go to New York and Miami. The Giants, man. I want to talk about them.
Get the pick out of it first, and then we can go to talk about the Giants if you're down.
Yeah, let's talk about the Giants after. So me and Max are both going with the Dolphins.
Blowout.
Yeah. One of the biggest blowouts of the year. 10.5 points spread. Look, I want to talk about Dable. Daniel Jones. Okay. What's your full thoughts? Because we haven't talked about this team since we seen them on Monday Night Football when they got absolutely annihilated by the Seahawks.
I don't have a problem with Dable being mad at his quarterback. I think Dable is frustrated with his team. I mean, obviously, you lose your starting left tackle on. You lose the best player on your team, Saquon Barkley. This Giants team reminds me of the Giants team the year before Daboll got there. They can't block anybody. They can't do anything. they're not giving Daniel Jones a freaking shot. I loved Evan Neal coming out. Got to be critical of him. He's not been what I thought he'd be. They need to turn it around. And truthfully, what can Daboll really draw up if they can't block it? So, like, what can they do? I don't think the problem's Daboll. I think he's a good coach. He proved it last year. He took them to the playoffs. And again, they're really banged up. Their defense, I think Wink Martindale's kind of been figured out and doing some dumb stuff. And I feel like every game except for Arizona, they've been the less talented team. And that's what happens when you can't block. And they're losing the line of scrimmage so bad on offense. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It looked bad. It's been looking bad all year.
It's not good optics. Good optics. Like, don't get me wrong. They're one win from – if they don't win that Arizona game, this might be looking really bad. Yeah. Really fucking bad.
Yeah. I want to say this. Part of it is Barkley missing these couple games. I do think that's a big part of it, of them getting annihilated on Monday Night Football. But I don't think it's completely Daboll's fault either. I just think, man, some of the ways that they start off these games and the shit that's happening, it's just like, it's not Giants football. You're making Daniel Jones play actual quarterback. And I say this in the nicest way possible. Him just being a guy playing from down and having to press the issue on things is just not good. It's not. Yeah. Like, you want to establish the running game. You want to be able to run play action with him. And when you don't have none of that, it's like, what do we do here? Our receivers suck. They can't win on the outside. That's another thing
I wanted to just say. Who the fuck are they lining up out there and saying, oh, just go win?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Jalen Hurts had a few moments. I like Isaiah Hodgins. Darren Waller's washed, bro.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
He's a washed guy. His hamstring, the same injury he missed all of last year, is lingering again.
Yeah.
Like, they took a gamble trying to get him, and they're like, Daniel Jones ain't throwing the ball. Bro, he's not open. He doesn't get open. And, yeah, people are going to point to the one ball he threw that was a little too high. He got a hand on it, brother. You put a hand on it, go catch the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Look, the Giants are, like you said, they're getting behind the games. Then it's like, oh, let's air it out. They're not built to play like that.
They're not.
And, hey, let's couple in. We lost our starting left tackle, who's the only good lineman on our effing team.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there was a play where 4 guys sacked Daniel Jones. It was like they don't pass stunts off. They get beat one-on-one. They get beat by speed, by power. Like, Seattle isn't the 85 Bears.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones made a couple mistakes that game. He tried to press the issue. He threw a pick 6.
Yeah.
Devin Witherspoon won. Props. I had him at 2. Like I love to say, I had him at 2. I love the fucking guy. I was talking shit about him last 2 weeks just to screw a 1. But he looked amazing. Kudos to him, for real.
He did.
But this issue is not a coaching thing. It's not, hey, we go out there every week and we can't pass off zone coverages and we look like idiots. No. This is talent, man. It's strictly talent.
Yeah, and it's kind of like with the Minnesota Vikings last year. It's like the cards just wind up falling into place for certain teams in certain years. And I feel like that was the Giants last year. Like, you look back at the Tennessee Titan game, like early in the year, like that game just went their way, it broke their way, and it kind of like catapulted them to a good season. And this year, it's just like a lot of those plays are just not happening. You got blocked field goals on Sunday Night Football. You got the rookie pick 6 for 100 yards when you're having a good drive. Like, just things that just don't go your way and you're playing from behind. And you mentioned it a little bit with the defense. It's like their defense took a step back. It's not looking that good. Their defensive line has been subpar. It hasn't been making plays like they usually been. And then the secondary is just they're really missing Julian Love, the safety.
Yeah,
I think like that was a big loss.
In all honesty, Kayvon Thibodeau hasn't really popped off like I thought he would as a player. Both of our number 1 pass rusher. I still think Dexter Lawrence is a fucking dog. Mm-hmm. Big Cat. Need to see a little bit more out of you, buddy.
Yeah.
And who's their rookie corner? Is it Forbes? No, not Forbes.
Deontay Banks.
Not that great.
Definitely liked what I've seen.
Yeah. That's a shout out to Guru.
It's just tough right now. It's tough, but don't overreact and fire your coach who just took you to the fucking playoffs. Yeah. This is nowhere near Joe Judge, where he's like, oh, people want to be here. I got guys from last year.
And let's just say it out there, like I did to start off this conversation, they're missing their best player on their football team for 2 weeks.
Arguably their two best players, Thomas and Barkley, who kind of are symbiotic of each other.
Yeah.
One helps the other guy.
Exactly. But going with Miami this week, man, the Giants just look a mess. There's no reason to trust them right now. So let's move on. Let's go to New Orleans and New England. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady in Foxborough?
Give me Derek Carr, Mac Jones, brother.
New Orleans is only 1.5 point underdogs in this one. The Patriots are favored at home. I find that pretty shocking the way that the Patriots looked last week. Look, man, I want to start this off by saying I don't like what I've seen from the Saints the last 2 weeks, I would say. I think Derek Carr I think Derek Carr is hurt. And let's just be real, this is a shocking stat. The Saints have failed to score more than 20 points. They're next to the Raiders. I think it's the Raiders and the Saints are two of the only teams to not score more than 20 points this season. That's kind of hard to fucking believe. A team with the high-powered offense, quote unquote, and you can't score more than 20. And they've had multiple home games. What do you think?
Man, the Saints looked really good for 2 3/4 games. And then Derek Carr got hurt. Jordan Love became alive. Last week was bad. They just, they shot themselves in the foot a little bit. But maybe I definitely think we owe Tampa Bay an apology, especially Todd Bowles, because we were we could see the wheels falling off. And so far, the wheels have not fallen off. The wheels are great. They got new rims, spinners, 24s on that thing. Yeah. Just put it on. You know what I mean?
They tans. They tans with Baker, but it's all right.
Yeah. It's not it's a little off. Fell off the truck or some shit. Baker fell off the truck. It's not like the go. When Tom Brady was there, that was a 72 Impala. Yeah. Fucking dropped the top. You know what I mean? Cut it. Fucking. This shit's like a 92 fucking Chevy something or other. I don't even know, but. It's it's a little hoopty. It's a nice hoopty, but it's a hoopty. Yeah. But no, these Saints, man, I think they're gonna win this week 1. I gotta pump my New England stock. The injuries to Christian Gonzalez, who was playing absolutely great, and Judon make me just be you just took away 2 difference makers, and this is a team lacking difference makers. For all this shit we talk about, Derek Carr and the Saints, hey, they got Demario Davis, difference maker. Marshawn Lattimore, Cam Jordan. They do have Alvin Kamara, who's really good. Chris Olave. Who's a difference maker on New England right now? On Name 1.
Yeah, I know.
And that's not shots. That's I really could.
That's facts.
Duggar for sure.
Duggar.
I just don't see someone else.
I just think this is if there's any stock left.
I know. I hate picking against him because I'm Bill Belichick ain't going 1-4, brother. He'll pull some shit out of his ass right now and be hey.
Look, the New England Patriots got absolutely dismantled last week. And if there's any stock left in Bill Belichick, it's this week. I feel like he schemes them up. You're at home. You're at Gillette. Weird shit happens at fucking Foxborough. They get the refs going their way.
Asses to the fire, bro.
Asses to the fire. And Mac Jones, bro, we need to see something. This is getting bad. This is you're looking like a fucking bust at this point. Just boneheaded mistakes by Mac Jones the last couple of weeks. It's been looking bad. But they signed J.C. Jackson, who fucking died in...
They traded for him.
Yeah.
Come back home. I'm coming home.
I'm looking forward to the matchup. I think New Orleans...
Bill was rock hard about
that.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
100%.
Paid for me.
But I think New Orleans is very simple. I think New England's going to be able to catch on to that. They're not going to be able to score points. And I think this one's going to come down to a defensive touchdown on the New England side. And that's how they're going to win this game. I don't trust Derek Carr right now. He's hurt, not because of talent-wise. I just think he's legitly hurt, and their offense is kind of suffering from it. Like, he's being checked down Charlie right now. Alvin Kamara had almost like 20 catches last week in his return.
Alvin Kamara had the least amount of yards for that many catches in NFL history. It was 13 for 33. The record was 13 for 71.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I don't know how it's even possible.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I think it's because Derek Carr is just not wanting to get hit. He's getting rid of the ball a little bit faster, making faster reads. I don't trust it, man. I'm going New England. I know it's crazy. This might wind up fucking me, but I got a close one, 23-20.
The case is good, though, Juan. Your logic isn't bad, where they're so simple. New England can catch on that shit. I'm going 17-10 New Orleans, man.
Yeah.
I have no stock left in them.
Hey, say your daddy's Patriots. That's our good old say, man.
Sorry, Isaiah.
Sorry, Isaiah. Exactly. All right, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Another rivalry that's kind of died a little bit. Look, Pittsburgh looked like absolute shit. Baltimore looked good. They beat a Cleveland Browns team where, yeah, they didn't have Deshaun Watson, but from the outside looking in, a lot of people are hyped about this team. Lamar had an MVP-type game. Cleveland still had their defense out there, and they were one of the best defenses, and they succeeded. What do you think about this one?
Pittsburgh sucks. Kenny Pickett is banged up. He said he's good to go. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This Pittsburgh team is bad. Baltimore, granted they're really banged up. They seem to always be banged up. Like Ronnie Stanley's always hurt.
Yeah.
Marlon Humphrey's still banged up. One, I feel bad. David Ojabo, he's going to probably miss the rest of the year. And I saw him kind of have some pops. One of our guys, because remember he missed off last year.
Right.
Just wanted to give him a little bit of like love, just because he's not really going to have to play much, but. What about Pittsburgh are you like? Yeah. TJ Watt? Yeah, I got it.
That's
anything
it.
else?
Yeah. Highsmith and Watt. It's only them, man. And Kenny Pickett looks terrible.
Yeah. And I don't think Baltimore, and I don't blame Pickett. I think that offense is shit. There's already been so much talk. Matt Canada's going to get fired. They're going to lose this week 1. This will be the week Matt Canada gets fired.
Yeah. I kind of said it in our preview. I got a lot of flack for picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to go last in that division. I think a lot of it is coming to fruition. Like Kenny Pickett, we don't know. He's not looking that good. Pickens, like, what are you going to do when you have a guy where the offense is just bland? It's not meant for him. He's not able to succeed in there. And Najee Harris, shell of himself. I don't know what it is. Whether you got to get rid of Matt Canada.
Can't block to start with. They just can't block.
But this is where I say, like, with the good coaches, I don't want to call Mike Tomlin because I know he doesn't really have his handprints on the offense, but, like, you got to make the most out of what you got. And I feel like the Steelers got enough to show at least better than what they show week in, week out. Let's just put it that way. That's how I feel about the Steelers. All right, I'm going Baltimore all the way, man. Like I said, I don't trust Pittsburgh. Ravens 26, Steelers 17, just because it's a division rivalry. That's why I have it that close. Max, you got 24-10?
Yeah, correct. What's Pittsburgh going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, moving on to your team. You go into this game, Max? It's in LA, Rams and Philly.
Me and my dad are talking about it one, but I don't know if anyone knows this. I have a fear now of going to Eagles games because when I went, it was fucking disaster. When Carson Wentz tore his ACL. I mean, the year ended great. Maybe that was awesome. Maybe it was great, good thing. But no, I might go to it. Me and my dad are talking about getting tickets. So SoFi's so ridiculously expensive. Fuck them.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Just football tickets in general. It seems like.
I know, dude. I went to the Coliseum. $300 was like in the end zone.
Yeah,
$300 now is like nosebleed.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about your Eagles. You want to start out with the Eagles or the Rams first? What thoughts?
I want you to explain to me why what you're thinking, brother. I know what you pick. I just want you to tell everybody. I think you're just being a hook ass bitch right now.
Look, I feel like the Rams are gonna match up pretty well with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. I think they like to grind out shit. The Rams have an actual run game. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, duo this week. Let's see how that looks. And I just like what I see out of the Rams, man. I feel like Stafford is playing good. The Rams defense looks good. Aaron Donald looks back. And maybe a case of the Eagles just like, hey, maybe it's time that they drop one. That's truly how I feel.
No, I hear what you mean. The Colts O-line can be so bad. Like I saw Indianapolis kind of start dominating them towards the later part of the game. Yeah. And I just have a hard time thinking they can really slow down Philadelphia. Kind of like San Francisco. They played them tough, but I think the Eagles' D-line is going to dominate this freaking game. And especially our O-line against theirs. We can kind of move them around. Sean McVay has a better feel for Kyle Shanahan than he does Nick Sirianni. I don't think we've played the Rams, right? We haven't played the Rams in a long time.
In a long time. Yeah.
I think the last time was like they played back-to-back years. So I like my Eagles one right here. I think Matthew Stafford's banged up. Like I think Puka will have a big game. I'm not sure if Cooper Kupp's going to play. Eagles all the way right here, 28-14. I might be there, might not. Sorry if I'm not.
One thing I want to say about the Eagles, I truly do feel like people are over-analyzing them. And I know that's kind of crazy to say now that I'm picking against them. But I think people are just being too hard on them as far as them not being like a contender or like, hey, something's missing with them. I honestly don't feel like that. I just feel like they've been playing against some opponents that know them pretty well, like Washington. And yeah, maybe they have a bad half here and there against Minnesota, but like they're good to go, man. And like I said last week, they have a new offensive coordinator in Brian Johnson who's trying to figure out stuff. And I felt like the later tail end of that game and maybe a little bit of the second half in week 3, they're figuring out how to get AJ Brown involved. Like AJ Brown was a big like chess piece where it's like, okay, let's get this guy going. And they've done it the last couple of games.
And the Eagles offense it's the most schematic thing, but what they do so well puts you in a box where it's like, oh shit. Like we kind of have to play this, and then that lends itself to having AJ Brown one-on-one. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily like a team like the Chargers that's like, oh, the Chargers can't run the ball, so they never put you in that thing. It's like, oh, we're so afraid of them. So running the ball, so now it opens up the passing, where the Eagles is the complete opposite, where they're so afraid of the run, then we get the one-on-one shots that the Chargers probably wish they could get.
Yeah. Let's see if Sean McVay can out-scheme Brian Johnson on Sunday with
it'd be a good match. It'd be good to see Sean McVay kind of if he just could expose our defense, which I bet he will have some plays to fuck us over because Sean McVay's still one of the best coaches in football.
Facts.
I think the Rams are really impressive at 2-2, man.
Yeah, I'm picking them 24-23. I think it's going to be a close one. This one I might lose it. I understand that, but it's just one of those little trap games for the Eagles, man, coming off of that division opponent too. Something to watch for. And you're in LA. The Rams playing good. Don't be surprised. All right, let's move on to Cincinnati and Arizona. How much did it pain you, Max, to have to pick this game? Because you got no rhyme or reason as it goes for this season. What we've seen so far this season, we got no business picking Cincinnati. So we're going straight off of their track record.
Correct. I picked Cincinnati because of the last 2 years, and I think they're better than what they've done. Look, they've lost a couple, like they lost to Baltimore, which is I can accept. Tennessee, Burrow's banged up. It kind of makes you wish they just sat him and just let him get healthy for Arizona. Look, this is going to be a tight game. If Cincinnati loses this game, they're done this year, man. I'm going with Cincinnati 17-14. Arizona's feisty. If they come in there and think, oh, we're just going to win, they're going to look like the Cowboys.
Yeah. This has to be season on the line, like you said, Max. And it makes you think like they should have sat Burrow. I said it on the recap show. I think they could have went.
Think about it.
They could have went
the first 4 weeks. They could have won 1-3 without him.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And then you get the get right game in Arizona. You bring them back this game.
And then you don't feel like, oh, we're fucking up. It's like, oh, we don't have our boy back there.
Right.
We don't got Joe. When Joe comes back, we're going to be ourselves again. But right now they're like, oh, Joe's here and we suck.
Joe Burrow can't move. He is one-dimensional right now. And I'm not saying Joe Burrow's some scrambler. But if anyone is new to watching Joe Burrow, his game is fairly similar to Mahomes as far as like those off-platform plays, those plays where he's rolling out of the pocket.
The pocket.
Yes, yeah. I don't see any of that. And that's what makes Joe Burrow, the Patrick Mahomes, the Justin Herberts better than everyone else. Like, it's those type of plays, and you don't see that. He was getting annihilated, bro, by the Tennessee Titans last week.
Yeah.
Absolutely annihilated. So
it's a great game for Cincy to get back on track.
Yeah, you have to, man. And would you be surprised if Arizona won? Fuck no. I wouldn't be surprised. A little bit. I wouldn't be surprised. They've been showing it all year, though.
Like, it wouldn't shock me, no, but I'd still be a little surprised, like 80%, like 20% surprised, because I'm like, damn, since you really lost this shit, you really going to let your season go down like that?
Yeah. I got 24-20, still a close game, man. They got to win, dude.
I got 17-14. I feel the same way.
Yeah, your score kind of looks a little bit more accurate than mine because their offense just seems like they cannot put up points. But we'll see. Yeah. Speaking of teams that can't put up points, let's talk about the New York Jets.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is a good one, man. The Nate Hackett Bowl. That's what I want to call it, the Nate Hackett Bowl. Let's see if he can get some revenge against his old team, man. Denver and New York. Denver coming off a win. Jets coming off of that Sunday Night Football loss. How you feeling, Max?
I feel like if you're a Jets fan, this is like the most optimism you've had in like this season after the first 4 plays of Aaron Rodgers. Like, hey, they looked pretty good against the Jets. Zach Wilson looked good. Look, this is going to be a really big game for the Jets. This might get their season back in line. I mean, I think it's for both teams. They're both 1-3. I have a hard time thinking Zach Wilson's going to look that good 2 weeks in a row. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm riding, brother. Let's ride. 2-3. Let's ride. This Denver team that just cut Randy Gregory, we alluded to it earlier in the podcast. They're still kind of fucked up. I'm not loving what I'm seeing. I got more faith than Russ. Russ has been decent. Russ has not been the superstar they traded for, but he's been I would say decent to good.
There was nowhere to go but up for Russell Wilson.
That's true. That's true. He lowered the expectations a lot.
Yeah. And one thing about Russ, I just feel like the one thing that's been fucking him over this year, it's that he hasn't played consistently bad throughout the whole game, like terrible. It's just 1 or 2 plays a game where it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Why'd you throw that? Why did you fumble? Like, that's what we've been seeing more of throughout the season. But I'm with you. Like, all the blame shouldn't be on him. Cortland Sutton got back in the mix. It seemed like they got some type of run game going with McLaughlin. But I like the Jets coming in this game, man. I do. I think their defense got a little bit more confidence with Zach Wilson. And for the first time ever, you're probably one of the biggest Zach Wilson defenders that I know, as far as like, hey, let's not blame it on this fucking kid. They got a bad offensive line. Like, let's do something about it. It's the first time where I seen him cut him loose. Like, hey, you know what? Let's not play to not lose. Let's play to win. Better yet. Mm-hmm. And that's what I seen from the Jets on Sunday Night Football. So that's why I'm a little bit more confident. I'm a little bit more excited. Another thing to mention, Dalvin Cook, stop giving him the ball. So many NFL teams have this problem where they just like don't seem to realize where let's stop giving this guy touches and just give them all to Breece Hall. Let's give them all to Tony Pollard last year with Zeke. Like, let's give it to Breece Hall, bro. He's the better running back. Let's get him going. He's a rookie. Let's tread those fucking miles on those tires. And let's rock and roll with Zach Wilson. Because I'm rolling with the Jets this week, baby. All the fucking way. What's your score, Max?
Damn, I'm going with them. Let's ride. I got 13-10. Low scoring affair, brother.
27-20. I got Zach Wilson putting up 27 points, dog. Straight up. The only chance you got, Max, is that this game's in Denver, okay? So, good luck.
I like Denver, baby. Hey, let's ride.
Do you think anything of the Nathaniel Hackett thing? A little bit extra fire?
I think Sean Payton got some fire. Be like, man, we're going to fuck this guy up. There's fire on both sides right now.
I think there's more on Hackett's side. When you talk about a coach like that.
I think if Aaron Rodgers was here, he would torch them.
100%.
He'd make it his mission to defend his boy.
Hopefully Rodgers.
Sean Payton was wrong. Sean Payton was wrong for doing that shit.
Yeah, completely wrong. So let's see, Hackett. Let's show up, baby. All right, KC, Minnesota. The NFL was looking back a couple of weeks ago and saying this is going to be a good matchup, prime time. It is not. The Vikings look fucking terrible. This is not an exciting game to watch. Because I'm going Chiefs, man. I don't know how you feel, but the Chiefs look fine. Like, I know people are going to
make some dumb mistakes.
Yeah, like people act like Mahomes has to be fucking pitch perfect. Like, they got the run game going. The Jets have a tough defense. He did what he had to do to win the fucking game, bro. And as long as they got Kelsey, as long as they got Mahomes, they will be fine. The words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. Relax.
Yeah. And Taylor Swift will be there.
Yeah. Fuck it. She's going to be in Minnesota. Do a show, too. I'm so sick and tired of talking about Taylor Swift on the fucking
Swiftie,
TVs.
brother?
I'm not a Swiftie.
I'm a DeAndre Swiftie, if you know what I mean,
The only Swift that I want to see is if they come to our podcast and they're like, oh, watch the MJC Sports, you know? Like, you know how they got like a bunch of new fans and the NFL's loving it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Bunch of fucking casuals. Anyway.
Good thing Taylor Swift made him. Really put him on. Wasn't a Hall of Famer.
I don't know, man. Travis Kelce made Taylor Swift. That's all I know. That's the only person I know in that relationship. But I'm going with Kansas City, man. I don't trust Minnesota. 34-17.
Nothing for Minnesota. Yeah, 31-24. Sorry, Minnesota.
All right.
This is the game of the week. This is the game of the goddamn week, brother.
Exactly. 49ers, Cowboys. I'll definitely be glued to the TV screen on this one. Dallas, 3.5-point underdogs. Look, simply put, the Niners beat the Arizona Cardinals. The fucking Cowboys did it. So does that mean anything to anybody?
Well, there's 2 years of hurt in this relationship, Juan. For 2 straight years, the Dallas Cowboys' postseason dreams have been gashed. Once in Dallas, once in San Francisco, by the 49ers. It was Jimmy G, then it was Brock Purdy. Look, this isn't like the X's and O's gives a shit about that, man. If I'm a Dallas coach, I'm saying all week, are we going to let this team punk us again? Like, it's a mental thing, Juan. Where, like, if they beat you this time, now it's in your head, like, man, we can never beat these fools. They need to go out there. Micah needs to go out there. All hands on deck this week. You send a message to this team. I want to see if I'm a Cowboys fan, I want to see the Cowboys go out there and kick their effing ass, out-hit them, out-muscle them, make Brock Purdy look human. Like, it's time to beat the team that's whooped your ass. It reminds me of the Rams won in the NFC Championships game. It's like, are you going to let this team beat you again? Like, you can't let this shit happen every year. Like, at some point, fuck the X's and O's one. Who wants this shit more? Are you guys going to come in and out-hit them? Are you going to just say, hey, they ain't running the ball on us. CMC, you are not getting above 20 yards today. That's what it comes down to, man.
Well said. Sadly, that's not going to happen. I think the Niners are just better. Simply put, I don't trust this offense from the Dallas Cowboys. And you need to be able to score points against the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't have confidence in that. I think Dak Prescott's going to get picked off a couple of times in this one. The one chance that they have is establishing the run game. And I don't think they're going to be able to, because I don't want to say that they miss Zeke, but they miss a guy to change the pace with Tony Pollard. They're missing a Samaje Perine. Yeah, a LeGarrette Blount. Like, wouldn't LeGarrette Blount be so perfect for the Dallas Cowboys right now? Just that smash and dash.
The Cowboys fans say it's that guy, Rico, whatever his name is. Like, he's not. He's not a bad player, but you need a sledgehammer. You need a LeGarrette Blount. You need a Marshawn. You need somebody to just run up there and just smash them every time. Yeah. Like a Marion Barber. He'll have 10 carries for 35 yards, but it's like, damn, we need those 35 yards.
Yeah.
That's what this team needs.
And I just think San Francisco is just loaded, bro. They're loaded. The one thing that they have a chance for is They need to make this game ugly. Make it as ugly as possible. And maybe they'll have a chance. Because when you make a game ugly, usually it's going to come down to which defense is going to make a play. Which defense is going to score. So maybe you take that route with Dallas and be like, hey, we're going to score with our defense this game. We're going to create a turnover. But I don't see that. I just can't see Dallas keeping up on the offensive end. Like, if it's a shootout, it's just, for me, it's just one recipe to win. And you're absolutely right, Max. Like, you hit it on the nose. It's coming in there, being physical, making the game ugly, punch them in the mouth. But I just don't think that's gonna happen. And let's just call it how it is. I'm taking Shanahan over McCarthy every fucking day of the week. I don't think
this week, brother.
Not this week.
I'm taking Mike. I'm taking Mike McCarthy.
I'm drinking that Cowboy Kool-Aid.
24-20, baby.
I'm gonna have to take
my freaking blue and silver on. Let's go. What do they say? Who them boys? We them fucking boy. I don't know what they say in Dallas, but let's get it. I'm on Cowboy Nation. The only nation, baby. Get it done. Get it done.
Max, I'm going to have to take away your fucking Eagle card, bro. What the hell did I just hear?
Fuck the Niners, brother. There's nothing more I love and there's nothing more I hate than a team that's soft, that acts hard. They the Phoenix Suns of the
fans. NBA. Check your boy. Check your boy.
I hate them both.
When you see him, if you guys see him hey, anyone that's going to SoFi Stadium, Eagle fans.
Look,
and my boy Max is there. Check it.
I need about 15 ACL tears this game just to make it worth my while. But I'll say, I just want these teams to kill each other, brother. You know what I mean? Car crash. Maybe one guy walks out.
You want the fucking Cowboys to win. You're despicable. I'm rolling with the Niners, man. 28-23.
Fuck.
28-23.
Give me my Stephen A. hat. I don't give a fuck.
All right. Let's move on. Anything else? Cowboy boy? Anything?
Raiders ain't winning this week. Let me just skip ahead to this game. Green Bay in Las Vegas. This game's a joke. Flex this shit out. Fuck Aiden O'Connell. He's a bumbaclat. How many sacks Rashawn Gary gonna get? 10? Just hang it up, bro. Just hang it up, Raiders. Maybe next year. Put it all in black.
Look,
you guys suck. Max Crosby, trade him to Detroit. Send him home.
Send him to Detroit? Why?
Send him to Detroit. Get the baddest white boy pass rushers in the NFL has to offer, brother. The Raiders are a joke. 28-17. Ain't nothing to say. Y'all can't get it done. You're too light in the ass. Your own boy don't believe in you.
Like that? That's how you going to treat the Raiders?
You don't believe in them.
Look, I don't.
Raider fans, check your boy. Check your boy.
Look, I'm not picking the Raiders this week.
Take that picture down, Juan. Take that shit down.
I'm not wearing no Raider gear, all right? We're Lakers today.
You know that DJ Khaled where he's like, it hurts my fucking heart. They don't believe in me. That's the Raiders right now. It hurts my heart.
Oh, my God. Look.
Can you play that right now? It hurts my fucking heart.
No, I'm not. Look, the Packers are better, man. I think Jordan Love is going to tear us a new one. The Raiders defense is terrible. Peters retweeting shit like Fire McDaniels. Raider fans are fucking hating on Mark Davis, and I love that part, but it's just nothing to look forward to except for it's a great quarterback class.
Caleb.
Man. It's a great quarterback class. Drake May, Caleb Williams, Shador Sanders. I don't care who it is, but the Raiders do not look good, man. And to top it all off, Christian Watson may get a full slate of plays this game, and he's a guy that just kills the fucking Raiders, man. It's a recipe for disaster. They can't run the ball. They might fucking go with Jimmy G. They might go with Brian Hoyer. Go with the kid, man. I don't care what Max says. I liked enough what I seen last week. I know he fumbled a lot. I know he threw the pick to lose the game, but nothing's wrong with Aiden O'Connell. Give the kid a fucking chance. I think he'll be fine. With all that said, Packers 34, Raiders 24.
It breaks my heart.
It does. It does. I hate you, Max. Fucking hate you. You're not a real Eagle
fan. Tell me your lock of the week is fucking Green Bay.
No, it's Kansas City. Honestly,
I got
bro.
Miami.
Honestly, bro, I was looking at it. I couldn't find it in my heart to have the fucking lock of the week.
It breaks my fucking heart.
I couldn't do it.
It breaks my heart.
I'm rolling with the Chiefs against Minnesota. Max got Dolphins against who is it? Who are they playing against? I already forgot. Giants. There you go. All right, but
it breaks my fucking heart.
That's gonna do it for the show, ladies and gentlemen, where fandom cards are taken away from me and Max. Okay, he turned into a Cowboy fan. I'm over here disrespecting the Raiders, man. It's all fucking wacky, bro. We hope you guys enjoy week 5. We hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll see you next time. Peace.